Hello and welcome back to Advanced Hwoarang Lessons. Let's do this, keep it short. Just like up back 3-3 kind of short. Right? B&B is beautiful. That's just one of them. And it is the 16 frame move that was added in Tekken 7 for Hwoarang to launch punishable lows. Not negative 15 lows, negative 16 and above. It's a pretty good, well, I'd say it's more than just a launch punisher. More on it soon. So let's talk about all the moves in up back 3, right? So let's start with up back 3 by itself. It's 16 frames, it's negative 3 on hit, and it's negative 14 on block, and you remain in LFF. Pretty basic move, but it has follow-ups. Up back 3-3 is also 16 frames, and of course, tail spins on launch. And if it's on block, it's +3, just like 1-2-3 on block, so you can still trade with an LFS 1. But it also doesn't jail when you transition to left flamingo. So if I record the dummy to duck here, just like that, no problem. However, there's another string that will keep the opponent in check, supposedly. And that is up back 3-4. As you can see, it's 12 plus 12 on hit. That's massive for like right flamingo, and that's like a guaranteed axe kick. The opponent shouldn't even bother trying to do anything else. However, if this move does go on block, you're negative 4 with nowhere to go. You're on an island. And the only way you can get out of this is to sincerely gamble that your opponent does a high. A 1-2. Or even just a basic 1. Because the snake edge will punish that. However, you will lose immediately if they press a mid. This does open up, right Viper, RFS F4. However, even if that does open this up, because it would be 13 frames, you will still lose to the basic down jabs. And quite frankly, there isn't much you can do there. I don't think the low crush will be saving you, because you are negative 4 at that point. And the crush frames will activate against the shorter move, but not against the longer move. And that's all the opponent pretty much has to do. Or even just get a regular jab. So, the cards are stacked into like the opponent's favor, because you have to risk the snake edge, risk the RFS F4, risk the RFS up forward 4, and we haven't even gotten to the last thing you could probably risk, which is RFS back 4. And if we take, let's say, a jab, you're gonna end up with the same story. And then you won't even get to start it up, because you have no frames to work with. And even on the mid, they're fine. And that's a punish. That makes mixing it up a little bit difficult for all three. The key part here is that Hwoarang's allowed to delay the string. So even if they're gonna block the mid, and you have to like really guess really hard on like what they're gonna do as a challenge, you have a chance to make them think about it, at the very least. Because you see, did you notice how long this is taking to delay? It's really long. It's a very, very, what do you call this? Grateful, or gracious amount rather, that you're allowed to like input the next button. So an opponent has to hold. So like, what's the reward you get if they're holding, right? So if they're blocking and they don't know when to fuzzy because you're delaying it like crazy, you get +3. All right. And you get -4, or potentially, which is what you hopefully want to get, a +12 into an axe kick. So you go +1 and be on your way. Hopefully they challenge. If they challenge, great, you counter hit launch. If they don't, you're +1. That's your worst case scenario. Or like, not worst case scenario, rather. Best case scenario. And it being delayable isn't the only bonus, or like, I guess, saving grace you get. It's also a hit confirmable string. One of Hwoarang's few hit confirmable strings, like DF3-4. That is completely hit confirmable. But it's just also difficult to do. But since the window on up back 3 is longer, you can hit confirm it. Now, it is super delayable, but that window for hit confirming isn't as long as that. But it is long enough. So let's say this is the window for like delaying it. The window for confirming it somewhere around here. That's pretty good. It's not a hard window to connect. So you just have to get the timing right and Next thing you know, you kind of like got a launch of 16 frames. Or you got a 12 frame poke in. That's like the only thing left for this string. That makes it, you know, something that the opponent has to guess if you want to like throw it out. So if they're looking to like punish you really hard in RFS, because they can honestly just pop the Rage Art also if they have Rage and you're dead. There's nothing you can do. Not even a Snake Edge would save you. Not unless it's against like high Rage Art, sure. But against every other Rage Art, nothing. So the best case scenario for the opponent is honestly just let up back 3-3 go, punish you hard on up back 3-4. So that's what's gonna happen almost every time you delay this, which means nobody's gonna punish this alone. So you can kind of like just throw it out there and be like, do I risk putting myself at -4, or do I risk the chance that they can actually react to like ducking the second hit of up back 3-3? Because again, remember, it's delayable. You can choose when to like let it fly. But if their opponent's on point, you're gonna have to really think about it. So, but at the very least, it is a poke. Now, if you do get the confirm, there are some combos you should be doing. Link in the description for the B&Bs explained. But for the most part, you do this combo. This works on majority of the cast at 61 damage, and that's really good wall carry. Another one you can do is something that's consistent on everybody. However, you need to put in some work for it. It's not an easy mode combo if you want something that hits everyone with decent damage. So that was 61 earlier, this is 60. But we can push this higher to make it like the most optimal thing in the world. So up back 3-3. This time, instead of doing 2-3, you do 1-2-3. And then there you get 62. If you want an alternative, another one you could do is to do F4 and then RFF3 and then just play around with it, whatever you want to do. Do you need the wall? Do you need damage? Do you want to get Oki? Choice is yours. So that's like if you're in open, right? What if you attempt to like threaten this at the wall? So let's say you hit confirm it, they splat at the wall. What is your wall combos? Well, for the most part, it's your wall B&Bs. Just minus the RFF forward 3 because you won't get access to RFF forward 3 since you transition to left flamingo. So you up back 3-3, LFS forward 3, LFS 3F4, 50 damage. This is usually the most you're gonna get out of that situation. You do have alternatives though if you don't want to use that. You can do LFS 3 forward into an LFS back 3. It's 45, that's 5 damage away. If you don't want to do that, 3 forward into an LFS back 4. Now you're 6 damage away. And of course, you can always just change it around. There's always an LFS 3-4 into an RFS DF4 into 50-50 spike. Not bad. There's also doing 2 of this into an LFS 2. That's nice Oki. However, you're also 9 damage away from 50. So like there are more alternatives, but they're not as strong as just doing the regular wall B&B minus of course RFF forward 3. What about tracking, right? So if it has the, it's hit confirmable, it's delayable, not really fuzzy guardable, hopefully it's got some tracking, right? So let's say we put them in a +5 scenario. So you do LFS 1 and then you go straight for up back 3. Does it track? I see. It's the Hwoarang dilemma. Right. But what if I delay, if I, input the full string? Let's say I even delay it because I didn't know whether they were actually going to step in that situation or not. Well, it did catch to the opponent eventually, but that took forever. What about up back 3-3 if I press it immediately? So there's a chance, like, while they're stepping, if you do it immediately, you'll catch them. And if they don't press a button right after, it'll still realign the second hit at the very least. But if they walk versus it, and you delay it, or you're not going anywhere, they kind of like got your back, and that's pretty much it. GG, shake my hand. Last check versus sidewalk right? Nope. So you're already at +5 on block. That's kind of like a situation you could get more often than not. How about, let's say, you get a jab on hit? Now we're talking. What about a DF1 +2 on hit? It's just that the on block situation is not the best. At least for up back 3-3 on block, it's pretty much just 1-2-3 or 2-3 on block. Up back 3-4, there's no saving you there. It's a huge risk, it's a huge gamble. If only this was -2, we'd have something. Because again, RFS F4 is 8 frames. If you add 2 on that, that'd be 10. The problem is we're adding 4 on that. That's 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a 12 frame move. That's what's making this harder. Now, we're not going to see a buff or a nerf on this in Tekken 8 because it's not in Tekken 8. This is the last time you'll have up back 3-4, up back 3-3, and up back 3, or the up back 3 mix up, or like even attempting to like use it just for like a confirm in neutral or even in your offense in Tekken 7. It got one chance to appear and doesn't have a chance to like stay. Remnants of it are there. While standing 2-3, the second hit, that is the second hit of up back 3-3. But that's about it. Up while standing 2-3 is a different move. Still as delayable, but doesn't have a mid option. Here, kind of like operates more than just a Punisher. So that's all the cheese I have on up back 3, up back 3-3, up back 3-4. The next advanced Hwoarang lessons is going to be on the other side of the screen. Again, I've been Frontier, and thank you for watching.